The yeas are 290, the nays are 137. The joint resolution is passed.
Huge problem in the offing. This was one move to try to stop it. House lawmakers are moving forward with a new agreement to prevent a crippling national rail strike. The move includes a contract, 24% raise over 5 years, despite opposition from several negotiating unions. Second piece of legislation will add 7 days of paid sick leave to the agreement. A rail strike would add to an already difficult holiday shipping season.
If one piece of that, if the financing piece, if the transportation piece gets disrupted, that would be a very big threat.
Yeah, we say it would be crippling. The emergency measure now goes to the Senate. If the bill doesn't get to the president to sign, a strike could start next Friday. Congress trying to prevent this. People are wondering what it could actually mean, especially for us right now. We're thinking about the shopping season. We're thinking about the holidays, Christmas right around the corner. Before here at 5:30, Will Puckett learning more about this. Nearly 40% of the goods in this nation move by rail. A work stoppage would bring the economy to a grinding halt.
Yeah, everything from clothes to new cars to fuel moves on American railways, Ted. And an impending work stoppage means disaster for nearly everything. With the House passing an agreement today to force the issue, now the Senate talking about it. Supply chain experts are saying this may be necessary to avoid disaster. It's a possible work stoppage that would be felt across the entire U.S. economy.
I think we're pretty critical.
A rail strike looms as 4 of 12 unions hold out an agreement proposed in the middle of the summer.
It was the White House, not Congress, intervened initially back in the summertime to put this deal on the table.
That agreement brings significant wage increases, but the issue at hand is the debate over paid sick leave. The rail companies only offering a single day, while workers are asking for more than a week.
Railroads, like every other industry, are seeing challenges with finding available labor. And so it's putting a lot of pressure on their employees. And the employees feel like they don't have time to go to the doctors or take their kid to school or anything like that that might cause them to be away from work.
Ted Stank is the Bruce Chair of Excellence in Supply Chain Management at the University of Tennessee. He says if not avoided, nearly 40% of America's goods are at risk of not being moved.
A lot of energy movements, both petroleum, coal, things like that, lumber. So a lot of those kinds of raw materials. Automotive parts as well as finished automobiles move mostly on the rails.
And while politically complicated, congressional intervention may be the only path forward to avoid a possible economic collapse.
It also puts a Democratic president, and right now, at least until they seat the new Congress, a Democratic Congress, in an interesting point of maybe having to force the hand of unions, which have traditionally been pro-democratic.
Stank says the result of not reaching an agreement would lead to companies resorting to attempting to move all of these goods by truck, which simply isn't feasible.
8 unions voted to accept the original agreement. If the other 4 don't, shut down?
Yeah, completely. The other 8 says it's an all or nothing approach that unions tend to work together. So the other 8 say if the 4 don't agree, they're going to honor that work stoppage and it all could come to a screeching halt. However, again, Ted, it's important to note the House has agreed to force the hand of labor unions to agree to what is on the table. The Senate now voting on it with a possible additional 7 paid sick days, which is really that talking point that people have the hiccup on right now. Should the Senate agree to that, it goes to the president's desk. And as long as to stop this, the president should say yes.
Historically, they've had to intervene before to stop these strikes because they would be very costly. Will, thanks a lot.